What's going on, my PT peeps, my Walking Dead family, and my fighters? I'm One Eye Bry, also known as PT. Don't know if I'm winking or blinking, but I'm definitely thinking about The Walking Dead Season 11, Episode 16, the finale of the second part. Obviously, spoiler warning for all things Walking Dead. I do not want to ruin anything for you. Spoiler warning, that's for sure. But did you catch these things? We're going to break down some things that we caught, we saw in Season 11, Episode 16. If it's something that we missed, please let me know in the comments below. Well, first and foremost, this continues the trend, this part, 19 hours and one act of God. I believe the episode was called Acts of God or Act of God, and they did this a lot in the second part. 6 months later, 1 week later, 2 weeks later, and I never really saw it much in the series, and it felt like it was like every couple episodes that we saw them playing with time. 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago, jump ahead, jump back, over here, over there. It was like, okay, but I never really saw it before. Now, the locusts are something that a lot of people are talking about. It just seemed out of place. And why was it here? Is it a connection like this? Looks pretty similar, right? Even looks like a messed up smiley face. Is it a foreshadowing moment with Rick Grimes? I hope so. I think so. I mainly hope so, because we don't know yet. We have to wait and see. But a lot of people are thinking and hoping that connects with Rick, because in Rick's last episode, Season 9, Episode 5, which is crazy, that was a long time ago, we saw a similar thing here. It was him hallucinating, and it was a bunch of helicopters coming his way, and people thought this city was where he was going, and here and there, what city is it? But the locusts look very similar. Now, yes, I know it's an act of God, and Angela Kang talks about the noise and this and that, but is there more meaning to it? Is it a possible foreshadowing connection with Rick Grimes? Will he show up in the final episode? Will we get a post-credit scene? Will we get something? We're hoping, waiting, wondering, wishing, we want a major connecting point with Rick. I mean, we want to see the guy again. We want to see some sort of connection with the CRM, and we were hoping it would be this, but it was just Leah's Commonwealth people that she ended up getting killed. But ultimately, we saw some possible connections here. If you look closely, some of the files, restructuring, resettlements, it's kind of hard to make out what's there, but we do see some paperwork, some hidden files that Max gets. And we kind of see coordinates. We see a kind of name there, Dan McDermott, and we get to see some stuff, but we see possible coordinates. Are those CRM outposts or hiding spots or whatever you want to call it? Because they kind of mention that, the coordinates. It's bigger than Sebastian's amount of people to go get the money. So I'm hoping again, they're subtly putting something out there. And will it be a major connection point with the CRM? I think it has to be, right? Let me know in the comments below. Now, the coin is interesting because we see President William Milton, and it says 1982, which is kind of cool. So I guess the Miltons have been in political power for a long time, and he could be, one of those presidents that were on money, because it's clearly here. You see the buffalo on the back of, we don't know the denomination of the coin. Is it just a coin? Is it currency? Not sure, but it was kind of cool to see this coin much closer up. And it's Lance's coin, and he's definitely Two-Face. He's got a scar on one side of his face, and the fact that we saw this was like, yeah, I don't know if it's a Easter egg to Breaking Bad, you know what I'm talking about there, but it's definitely got a Two-Face vibe. And then I'm like, grappling hook, Batman, going into the DC well over here, comic connection, just a cool thing for sure. But Marco is gone, and I gotta talk about the red theory. I know some people agree, some people don't. But, I mean, he's got red sleeves on. And he dies in the episode, right? And he's shot in the back of the head. And also, so we lost Marco and Leah and some Commonwealth troopers. Leah is also shot in the back of the head. She shot Marco in the back of the head. Daryl shot her. But if you look at the cabin, this is from Season 10, Season 10, Episode 19, I believe. You see the red drapes. Now, Daryl knew the cabin was nearby because you see the knives in the door frame, and you knew that was in the tree when Daryl was walking around. And it's very similar, the whole thing with Maggie and Leah and Daryl. It's definitely Leah's cabin, and it's just cool to see some callbacks there. But we also see the red drapes again. And agree with it, disagree with it, it's definitely there. The red drapes, and Leah dies in her cabin with the red drapes. So Leah is definitely one of the characters that I thought could have brought more to the show. She was filler. She filled in the gaps. and she got killed off. And there's definitely red drapes there. Then we see the red in Lance's tie. And I know some people are like, enough with the red, bro. I gotta mention it. I gotta talk about it. I know Lance didn't die, but he's gotta die in the third part, right? I mean, he's going against our group. He's trying to take over things. Does he make it to the end of the series? Does he go into the spinoffs? Is he the villain in some of the spinoffs? Does he connect with the CRM, Major General Beale? Can't wait to find out. Now, this one was pretty cool. The Whisperer, hiding spot is always a cool callback when Negan said they were in some Whisperer thing. But look at the shot here and here. I know it's different shots. I believe this is season 3, I want to say, with Maggie. I could be wrong, maybe season 4, but I thought the shots were pretty similar with Maggie. The "I'll find you" dialogue, I said this in my breakdown, just reminds me of Glenn. Maggie says it to Lydia and Elijah. Glenn says it to Maggie when he was hit in the baseball bat. He's like, "I'll find you," and then he gets taken out. But also, you have big balls, Maggie Rhee. Negan clearly respects Maggie now. He said the same thing, or kind of the same thing, to Sasha because he was respecting her and she's got beach-sized big balls or beach balls or something, right? But it's just cool to see that Negan is coming around and Maggie, they're respecting each other, and it's boding well for their spinoff. Now, Eugene and Max are together, and I think they are very good to each other, very good for each other. But basically, it was the same thing with Stephanie, Shira, and Eugene. They were on the bed, they kissed, and then Max said, "I have to go to work." And I instantly thought of, wow, that's exactly what Shira said to Eugene when they were on the bed, getting close. And I wonder if Eugene kind of thought like, oh man, I hope she's not crazy. I hope this doesn't fall apart. And we know Max is not going to fall apart. They're together for the story now. That's the real Stephanie, the person on the radio. So Max and Eugene are together. Now we know that Connie and Kelly, we know Connie's history with the paper, that she exposed Pamela Milton's uncle. And they're doing the same thing to Pamela Milton. So they're exposing more of the Miltons. So also you see the article there, Milton's adult son used innocence in deathly money grab. So we know that the Commonwealth people are going to hate Sebastian for that article right there. Also, Smashing Atoms is the title of the book here that Max is reading. I looked it up a little bit. I kind of summarized it here. You accelerate particles to high speeds, analyze the information about the particles that make up the atom and the forces that hold the atom together. Is that basically what Max, Eugene, and everybody's going to do at the Commonwealth? You're going to put forces on it, see who bodes well for the Commonwealth and who steps up and who falls apart? And I thought it could be somewhat foreshadowing of what's going to happen to the Commonwealth because of our group. Now, this is the mid-season finale. They're calling it that. It's kind of crazy to think that episode 16 is usually the season finale, and it kind of had that feel. But the way it ended really set up things for the third and final part. Lance took over Alexandria, Hilltop, and Oceanside. So we don't know who survived, who was killed, who was taken hostage, where our group is, because they're not going back to their communities. Where did Daryl, Maggie, Aaron, Father Gabriel go? Are we going to see Oceanside rise up? Where's Cindy? Where's Jules? Where's Luke? A lot of people are wondering that. So we'll have to see how it goes down. Now, way back when, many seasons ago, my guy Lincoln and I had this theory. And it's talked about the banner theory. It's a red fair theory, but the banner theory, which basically highlights how the communities will fall. The kingdom fell first, then it'll be Oceanside, Hilltop, and Alexandria. But maybe Hilltop and Oceanside, you flip them. But we see the red on Hilltop's banner, which didn't bode well for them. But is Alexandria going to be the last community standing? Probably, possibly, potentially. But did you catch these things? Is there something I missed? Thought it was interesting. Season 11, episode 16, another great episode. I've enjoyed season 11 so far. Some people aren't liking it. They think it's boring. They think it's obvious. They think it's, they can just figure stuff out. Either way, it's entertaining. It's got the drama. It's got the, a bunch of stuff going for it. It's good. I'm enjoying it so far. Hopefully we have some major connections in the third and final part. But let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below, and we truly appreciate all the love and support, guys and girls. It's just a general statement, but ultimately we need your help to achieve that goal of 100,000 subscribers. We're still approaching that goal every day, but thank you guys. Stay safe, and as always, tell them Daryl.